G'day trendsetters, John with Gravel Cyclist coming to you today from Paul Component Manufacturing in Chico, California. I'm joined by Travis and he's going to give me a factory tour of this amazing company. See you soon.
So this is where Paul normally sits and he's on his way to Grinduro right now, or he's maybe pulling up out front and gonna head to Grinduro. But this is where he usually sits. He comes in after his bike ride every day and answers emails, tech questions, works on ideas that he gets while he's out riding. So a lot of the component ideas and engineering kind of happens in his head while he's out riding first. And he'll either make a basic drawing in the computer or he'll make a napkin drawing or something and hand that off to our engineers, who are usually sitting here and over here. And these guys will take Paul's design ideas and turn them into programs that they can then send downstairs and machine bike parts out of after much prototyping. So this is Paul's manual machine kind of man cave, and he has a very big collection of manual machines and he can do pretty much anything in here. There's shapers, there's mills, there's lathes. He can make anything, and he'll make anything from prototype components to fixtures for manufacturing parts to testing. There's some of these machines are set up just to cycle our components and at really long cycle times, just to see if we can get them to fail and how. So right now we've got our new oversized seat post in the jig here, and this machine just spins at about 1,000 RPM and just flexes this seat post back and forth all day. And at a certain point we had to just turn it off because it wouldn't fail. So we said, all right, I guess it's good.
This is the storage area for all of the raw aluminium, all of which is USA made. The huge cylindrical sections will ultimately become Paul hubs, whilst this piece Travis is showing us likely a barrel adjuster or something similar. I experienced some audio issues with the wireless mics in this room, but in a nutshell, this is the saw room where the raw materials from the outside yard are cut to the right size to mount into the vices inside the CNC machines.
Most of our hubs use this adjuster. There's a few different ones, but these are made on this machine here, and they're just a simple adjustment. You can actually see in this one, usually you can't see because it's so splattered, but so it's spraying coolant on the parts as it machines them. So those rings are probably made on a lathe, and then this machine is going in and drilling holes and putting a split in them. Here, Brianna's making thummies, shifters, so this is pretty much done. It just needs to be deburred. So Brianna will go in there and clean up some of these edges with a deburring tool. Just make sure there's nothing sharp and all the threading is what it should be. And then it gets put in this tub right here. Here's those barrel adjusters that you saw the aluminum for outside. You can probably recognize that shape. So these are coming out of the machine, and then they're going to be deburred and tumbled and assembled into some brake levers. So when we have a raw part, it comes off the machines. It has still kind of a rough machine finish to it. So this is our finishing room where we tumble them in media or polishing media to give them whatever finish we want. So some of them will go in here. These are like gumdrops that are made out of sandpaper, and this whole machine just vibrates, and you put your parts in there and it polishes them. Or if you want them really shiny, this is sandblasted almost. Kind of a nice dull finish, and if you want to anodize them silver, this is probably where you would want to stop. But if you want to anodize them purple or black, and you want them to look really nice, you tumble them in this, which is corn and walnut shell, and that gives you a really nice...
I don't think I have anything out here that's polished.
Here's a couple things. So those are those rings that Brianna was machining after they've come out of the walnut shell. So they've got a really nice polished finish, and either if it's a small part like this, it'll probably get assembled as is. If it's a big part like a stem or brakes, then it'll go to anodizing after this stage. So this isn't our polish finish. This is just our surface prep for anodizing. So this looks polished, but this is just ready for anodizing, like black or purple or what have you. For the polished parts, then we give this to a guy named Ted, and he sits there with a buffing wheel and just polishes each part by hand one at a time, and we'll see some of those parts later. Stems to this. So stems get mounted to this. This gets put on. This starts spinning. Your stem is spinning on. The whole thing gets lowered down into the walnut shells so that it gets polished evenly. So once the parts are done downstairs with Brett, and they've been either media polished or tumbled, they get sent out either to anodizing. So there's a place here in Chico that does all of our anodizing for us. So they'll get anodized, or they go to Ted the polisher. So Ted will sit there and just polish each part one at a time. And that's his really nice, it's like a jewelry store finish. The finishing is ready and it's ready to be assembled. Look at that. So then we have our parts, they're ready to be assembled, and one of our assemblers will come back here, grab the raw parts or the almost complete parts, and bring them over here to the assembly area. So this is Haley. Haley's putting together Motolite brakes. These are V-brakes that we make. Just putting all the springs and the hardware and the screws and assembling them all so they're ready to be packaged up. So here they're being packaged into our new packaging that we just had done by Chris McNally, which we're really stoked on. This is a Downeyville scene. People riding Downeyville. There's a bear here, and the back has Paul riding his dune buggy and some bacon and whiskey flying through the air. Sasquatch, we're stoked on this. We just got these yesterday, so yeah, we're trying to switch to renewable resources right now. So next up is trying to get these brake pads in bulk so we're not wasting packaging with that. So we'll work on that next. So once it's assembled and packaged, it just gets put in a box and shipped off to the lucky customer.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All of our leftover chips get taken to the recycler, which is across the street from the Sierra Nevada Brewery, which if you haven't had lunch, that's a good place to get lunch. But you can see this is steel recycling, so that's mostly probably from axles, clamper pistons, things that are steel, and then this is all aluminum recycling. So coolant that drips off of it gets pumped back in, filtered and reused.
So all components started in 1989. I worked in bike shops, loved bikes, I always had tools around the house. Went to college, became a mechanical engineer. Had a real job for about a year and a half. My girlfriend broke up with me, and so I said, well, I'm gonna go do what I always wanted to do because couldn't get any worse. Moved to Chico, bought a house with a tiny garage, and started making bike parts. And also got a job at Mountain Goat, and that lasted for about 1.5 years, but then went out on my own. And here we are 30 years later, eating chicken, drinking beer.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos as they are released to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.